What's up, guys? It's Mintzy, of course, as you know, and today we're going to be looking at how I set up my UI for the way I stream on hardcore and how I will be in the future for our Road to Rag event. In the description below, if you're not familiar with Road to Rag, there will be a trailer, and if you wanted to check out my Twitch, as well as some other content creators that do stream the hardcore challenge, they will be in the description below as well. Without further ado, let's hop into it. So what I've done here is I've actually gotten rid of my WTF file, so I'm going to be redoing my UI with you guys right now. So basically I just use Bagon, really simple, Bartender, and that's the biggest thing we use really. We've got Blizz Move, so I can move around all my bars. On my Priest, for Road to Rag, you will see me have the Genosis cast bar timers that's going to show channeled spells. Whenever a tick hits, it's got a little break in the bar. It's actually super useful, and so I have hit grid and heal bot here, but obviously you don't need these for a rogue or a melee DPS. Right now we're going to be going over how I set up my rogue specifically. I will be releasing one on how I do my priest, but it's a little bit too early for me to go back on a priest right now. I just lost a 45 like a day or two ago. So basically I'm using Leatrix Maps since I last spoke about add-ons, Leatrix Plus, Masque, scrolling battle text, Neatplates, and we'll show you exactly which one we're going to use. I use Sexy Map, Shadow to Unit Frames, Weakauras. There's 2 Weakauras I specifically use in this UI. What's Training, which helps you figure out what your spells are and what level you can learn them at and how much they cost. And I also use Questie. And I also use Improved Blizzard UI. Let me just figure out where it is. There it is. There's only one reason why I use this eye. I normally turn it off after I use it. And we're going to do it right off the rip is where I'll show you where I use Improved Blizzard UI. It comes with a grid. And I don't know about you guys, but I like everything very neat. So what you do in the beginning is type improve grid. And boom. You've got a full beautiful layout where it shows the center point of your screen. And you can kind of keep your UI looking neat and organized. We're going to start with Bartender. We're going to unlock our bars. We're going to get rid of the Blizzard art. We're going to get rid of the reputation bar. And we're going to scale our XP bar down to 0.7. I apologize. Our micro menu, we're going to go in here. We're going to keep the padding at -2. And the scale, we're going to drop that down to 0.9. For our bag bar, we're going to go over here and we're going to do 0. And that's all nice and neat. And then for the scale, we're going to do 8. Oh, not that 8. Not that 8. The 0.8 one. Right. Perfect. Look at that. Isn't that juicy? We just kind of get it so it knocks in right there. We put the micro menu right here so it's all neat. Then, as you can see, I use bars 1, 5, and 6. This is the standard bar layout when it comes on your screen. You can use 1, 2, 3. You just need to enable them if you'd like. I'm not that picky. So first things first, we're going to change the padding. We're going to bring it down to 0 for 1, 5, and 6. Okay. Now that that's taken care of, we can kind of move everything around. So really, I don't think I have to go back into here. If we do, we do. We're just going to move everything up for a second to get it out of the way. Now we put the Blizzard XP bar right smack dab up here. Turn off bar snapping if you've got a better mouse. And right about there, I feel like, is pretty good. Generally, that's right around the 50 mark. So now we're going to... I'm not a pet class, so I just kind of tuck mine here. Doesn't really intersect with anything. So bar 5, you want it right on the A. I've noticed right on the A seems to be the lineup mark. And then boom. We've got all our bars organized. You should overlap them a little bit, and you'll see why in a little while. Why I overlap these just a little bit. I use keybinds, so I don't normally click. So depending on if you click or not, I don't know 100%. If overlapping is going to be for you. Me specifically, I use keybinds, so it just makes it look neater. So now that we've got that locked, it gives it a little space on the bottom. If you're very anal about that, obviously you can do that as well and fix that. But me personally, I think it just looks good like this. Now we're going to unlink our frames. It's going to give you an error, but it's okay. You're going to target him. There we go. That took way too long, huh? Oh, you raggedy bitch. I can put it in one to the center. Right about where the legs are. At a certain zoom in. Inside a building, generally is where I like to sit. Right there, they line up just about as good as I really want them. If you really, really wanted to go into it, you can go into Shadowed, UF. And then if you want, you can check your frame. This is going to be your Y-axis. So this is going to be your frame that you actually need to follow. So then if you really think that the one is off, which I can tell you it's off, yeah, exactly. So generally, with my Rogue, I like having mine have a solid decimal at the end. Just because this normally comes with combo points, so it does drop it down a little bit. It'll equal out once you actually start playing. So I do have a few Weakauras. Weakaura number 1, which will be in the description below, is to remove the Blizzard cast bar. And this is a simple one. You really don't have to do anything with it. Then the next one that we have for you guys is going to be Shin's Tbc Rogue. Now this one I really, really like. It's more beneficial for combat rogues as it's going to have all your cooldowns. It's got your combo points, it's got your energy bar, and it has the tick so you know when everything's about to reload and reset. It's really, really nice when you're about to get that fresh energy tick. You can time your backstabs a little bit better. It's just more convenient to and more efficient to play rogue. Biggest thing I think out of this is going to be the slice and dice timer that everyone's going to want to utilize. So with this, you can kind of see the outline of where it's going to all sit. I think it looks good right about smack dab in the 100. Right in the first 0 in the 100. That way it's right in between the two, and there's 2 on the right, 2 on the left. And that's beautiful. Now that's pretty much all of... all of the basic parts of this. Obviously don't worry about the heal bot. And at this point, what I like to do is if I have heal bot up for some reason, which I don't know why it was on. That's why. And I like to get rid of the improved Blizzard UI because it adds extra things that I don't need. I really only utilize that for the grid itself. Other than that, it's pretty, it kind of clashes with the way I have this UI set up. So we're going to reload with those 2 options off now, but it still maintains and saves. Now, Questie track, I just click it off kind of generally. We right-click Sexy Maps. We're going to go into the default presets, and we're going to do Bloon Rune Diamond. I like to drag my map right down to the right personally. If you want to change it wherever you like, go for it. I personally do like it there, right here, and I changed the scale to 1.85. I was trying to get it by the mouse, but I didn't have the magic touch today. So that's all taken care of for us. Now we've got the basic setup, so now we're going to go into the Inference Options. This is really straightforward and easy. So first off, Leatrix Maps. You don't have to worry about that. Leatrix Plus, we'll get into that in a second. Right now we're going to work on making the bars get the skin I have. So I go into Global, I enable the color for the classic backdrop, and I change it to black. Now all these bars are going to have a slight black hue around them. Generally I like to have them spaced out a little bit more, but for the video's sake I want to keep it tight and uniform the way I have right now. Now I also like to, on cooldown, change it to red numbers, but like a darker red. So if I was to use a cooldown, it shows you the cooldown timer. and it also shows you when your global cooldown is done with a color coding. So I kind of like that. Obviously, there's plenty of other things that could do that. Right now, we're going to talk about my scrolling areas. Now, we go to Master Fonts. We change it to Morpheus, and I change the size for regular hits to 28. I also make sure it's thick. Thick. Okay? Really thick. You want it thick. It makes it look more neat. Crits, you're going to want at 38. 28 and 38. Normal, crit. And that's how we're going to do that, pretty much. I do change one more thing. The scroll areas. I configure the scroll areas so I can spread them out a little bit. If you really want to get super precise with it, you could do the same anchor height instead of trying to drag it like I am. And I got lucky. Generally, I like to have it a little bit to my left. The static piece, I like having more up to the top. The notifications, keep it up a little bit higher. And that's normally how I have it set up on stream. So if you've ever watched me stream and you're like, oh, what is that? That's that font, Morpheus. I generally do that for about every other font too. But we're going to go to Neatplates. I use Classic. Now, why I use Classic is because I really, really like the way it's set up. Keep it to my active default profile. I open. I go into default. You scroll down just a little bit until you start seeing right here. Opacity, opacacy, onomatopoeia. I don't know. I'm baked. I put it up to 179 because it's 10 better than 69. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. And that's what this looks like right here. That's what all the bars. Now, this little circle, that'll tell you if a mob is skulled. So that's why I like having that, especially for hardcore. It's pretty useful. So we're going to go to Leatrix Plus. And we're almost done with this, so just stay with me here. So we're going to go to our system. I disable the screen glow. I enable max camera zoom. I change the density generally to 1. So, let's see. What else do we have here for you guys? Trying to think what I want to do. Bagon's general. Healbot I don't really play with. Oh, let's go into the game, actually. So what I do for my system requirements, generally I put ground clutter to nothing. Everything else I just keep it to 7. It says it's recommended, but it said that with my 2080 and I have a 1650 Super. So I don't know if that's really that much different. I change my max background to 60. I also keep my monitor vertical synced, so if you have a monitor that's over 60, you know, you can do whatever you please, but I have a 144 hertz monitor. I feel like WoW plays very, very comfortably at 60 frames, and it's very, very smooth. It never drops. So as you saw right there, 2 big things to take from that. Leatrix Plus, which disables the green scroll effect, gives it more of that dry tone. It doesn't give it that it's a dark game. It's not a light game, right? So generally, I think the game should be darker, so that's why I changed my contrast. You don't have to copy this part. This just makes the game the way I like the game to look. And really, that's just about it with my UI. I'm going to have everything down in the description below between the names of the add-ons. I know some people use WoW and some people use CurseForge, the lesser people in the world, but it's okay. There's places for you. They're called psychiatrists. You can go and speak to one. I'll leave one of those in the description as well. But yeah, you'll use WoW for a lot of these things, the Weakauras and stuff like that as well. You can get from wago.io. I will be putting them in the description below. If you're ever watching Twitch, I will have my Twitch in the description below, as well as the Classic Hardcore team. All the guys there generally, guys and girls, generally stream World of Warcraft Hardcore. So if I'm not on, you'll be able to watch somebody on, I'm sure. And thank you guys for watching the video. This video was meant to be a play along and do it with me. So if you need to, feel free to go back in the video to find anything out. Like I said earlier, if you have any problems, questions, or concerns with the UI, you can go ahead and put a comment down below to ask me any questions, and I will do my very best to try to answer and help them with you. As always, if you have problems that are a little bit more difficult to explain than a YouTube comment and you want to share screenshots, I do have a Discord, and if you wanted to change it, feel free to change it. This is just kind of like an open source of how I set mine up. you know, you can change it and set shit up the way you'd like to. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you like the UI. Road to Rag. We'll see you soon.